All right, my friends, we are here with the rhythm explanation for I Lift My Voice. We're going to be working with triplet rhythms in that song. So I wanted to sort of give you a bridge from last week's work into this week's work to help you understand how we put triplets together and how they make a rhythm in music. So the easiest way for me to show you a nice bridge is to show you the answers from last week. So I'm going to put the sheet from last week in front, and I want to point out this rhythm right here. We have 3/8 notes together. Notice there's no little number 3 over top, just 3/8 notes all together. When you had them in 12/8 time or in 6/8 time, we counted them 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or in 12/8 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is exactly what this guy looks like. The only difference is he has a little number 3 over him. He looks the same, and he's going to sound the same. The reason he has a 3 over him is because our time signature is in 4/4. When you have a 4/4 time signature, that rhythm you had last week in 12/8 time, we're able to transfer and turn it into something called a triplet. In the old version, when we were counting by eighth notes, those eighth notes made each one of these worth one beat. That's why we counted individual numbers for each one of them, because there's an 8 on the bottom. But in this version, there's a 4 on the bottom. So we're going to count it a little differently. You've always been taught when you have a 4 on the top, you need to count up to 4 in your measure. So I'm going to start off with that. So let me pull back a little bit. We have a 4 in our measure. So we're going to put a nice big 1, nice big 2 over the second group, a nice big 3 over the third group, and a nice big 4 over the fourth group. Now the problem is we have these extra little guys. Technically, each one of these as a team is worth 1/3 of a beat. That sounds a little weird, doesn't it? We're used to half beats, and we're used to maybe even 1/4 of a beat with 16th notes. But this one is worth 1/3. So in order to get this one to work, we like to think of a 3-syllable word. You can either think Saturday, which is how my teachers like to call it, because we would go Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. However, we're going to use his real name, which is a triplet. So we're going to come back here and we're going to call him triplet. So we're going to go triple, P-E, I believe, let. I think I spelled that wrong, but you get the idea. Triplet. Eventually I'll learn how to spell triplet. Maybe it is an E. Triplet. There you go. And the last one, triplet. So this rhythm is going to sound like this. 1, 2, ready, here I go. Triplet, 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 triplet. Okay? Now, if we were to put down below, these are called 8th note triplets. These ones are groups of 3, but notice those are no longer 8th notes. They're called quarter note triplets. So we have 2 different kinds. This kind is the 8th note triplet. Still can't spell triplet. And down here is the quarter note triplet. There you go. There, I got it right. Now, the difference with these guys, up here we said these ones were worth 1/3 of a beat. It's because each one of these as a team is worth 1 beat. That's why we have our individual numbers right here. Okay? In quarter note triplets, instead of each one of these being worth 1 beat, now these guys are going to be worth, each team is worth 2 beats. So each one of these notes is worth 2/3 of a beat. Well, we can't say 2/3 of a beat, right? So all we can do is come up here. We can still have our triplet. But the difference is we're going to sort of slow down that speed. So there's fast triplets and there's slow triplets. These ones are going to be spread out over 2 beats. So we're going to think nice and long half notes. So if we have our beat up here, the top one, the green line, it's going to sound like this. Triplet, 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 triplet. Here's the orange. Triplet, 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 triplet. Now if you look at our music, the kind of rhythm that we have in our music is a quarter note triplet. And what makes this a little special is it is tied right here to a quarter note afterwards. So that's why our rhythm, we're going to make it go a little faster. When I lift my voice, let it be in song. So it's a different kind of syncopation than what we're used to. All right, so your job is to sort of get used to how to name these using different time signatures. So I'll get you started on numbers 1, 2, and 3. I'll just give you a good start, and then I'm going to stop. And then I gave you 4 and 5 as well. 4 and 5, I'm not going to give you anything to help. Your job is to do number 1, 2, and 3 and send me a picture. If you want to do 4 and 5 as well, you need to send me a picture of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 4 and 5 are going to be more like a challenge because I'm not helping you with 4 and 5. So let me get you started with 1, 2, and 3. So up here is 4 beats and a measure. So we're going to start off with 1. We can put a little mask 2 up here because we know he's worth beat 2. Here's beat 3. Here's mask beat 4. Sort of hiding there. And then here we have a triplet. Triplet. So that's how that one's going to look. Now I'll show you the next measure. Actually, let me jump over. Let me do this one for you so you can see the difference. This one, hopefully you'll be fine with. This one we have 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus, 4. So he's super easy, hopefully. And you know what? I will come back. I'll do number 2 with you, and then that's where I'll stop. So here's 1. Skip beat 2 for right now. Here's 3, 4, and you guessed it, that center section is triplet. Okay? And then I'll come back. I'm going to make a separate video of me clapping the rhythms together. Okay? Here is number 2. Number 2 note, we have 2 beats in the measure. So instead of 1 beat, instead of up to 4 beats, we now have up to 2 beats. So the first measure, of course, is super easy. Hopefully you got that. 1 goes and 2. Now we said these guys are separated, right? So here we still have our triplet. Triplet. But it's sort of spread out. And honestly, if your spelling is just as bad as mine, as long as I can tell that you know that that's what a triplet is, that's good to go. But the cool thing is the measure's now done because it's in 2 beats and we already have our 2 beats. So the next one, of course, is going to be 1 and 2. And we stop because we have 2 beats in the measure. Getting you started in the last one at the bottom. Easy beginning. 1, 2, 3 plus, 4 plus, and now it's like we had at the top. Oh, or is it? We still have our 4 beats, but now instead of eighth note triplets, which makes a little bit better sense and easier, we're spread out. So we still have our triplets, but this is over 2 beats. Triplet. So there's triplet. This took up all of beat 1 and 2. So now we have beat 3 here, and it's a rest with beat 4. Hopefully that gave you a good start and a good understanding. Do your best. You're going to be expected to fill in the rhythms for 1, 2, and 3. And then I need you to I'm going to give you a sample of clapping the entire page. You choose one of your favorites. You need to tell me which one you're clapping, and then you clap it out for me. Be careful with the quarter note triplets. Those quarter note triplets are a little bit tricky when it comes to clapping, so I do recommend that you look at my clapping video to help you. Take care. Bye-bye.